For years, the mystery of the Long Island serial killer haunted the nation. Now they finally have their man, Rex Heuermann, the suburban architect with a chilling double life. But a bombshell dropped in the courtroom could derail the entire case. His defense is claiming the one piece of evidence linking him to the victims, the crucial DNA, is junk science, unproven, unreliable. Meanwhile, prosecutors have revealed a meticulous, disturbing manual found in his home, a blueprint for murder written in his own hand. Tonight, we break down both. Can a controversial lab technique free an accused serial killer? Or will his own words bury him? Stay with us. The details of that manual will shock you. The search for the Long Island serial killer began over a decade ago. In December 2010, the remains of 4 women, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello, were found wrapped in burlap along a remote stretch of Gilgo Beach, New York. They became known as the Gilgo Four. Heuermann was arrested in Massapequa Park. For years, the case went cold. Until July 2023. In a shocking arrest that made national headlines, authorities arrested Rex Heuermann, a 59-year-old architect from the quiet suburb of Massapequa Park, just a 20-minute drive from the dump site. Heuermann has since been charged with the murders of these 4 women. The prosecution's case hinges on 2 major pillars of evidence. Forensic DNA analysis. A single hair found on the remains of Melissa Barthelemy, linked via advanced techniques to Heuermann's wife and eventually to the suspect himself. Digital forensics. Data recovered from his electronic devices, including chilling online searches and highly organized planning documents. But here is where the case gets complicated. The defense is actively fighting to have that DNA evidence thrown out of court, calling it a fishing expedition and junk science. We'll explore both sides of that legal battle and show you the shocking details inside those planning documents. The prosecution's case largely began with a single hair. This forensic evidence wasn't just a regular DNA match. It was the result of a cutting-edge technique the defense is calling into question. On the body of Melissa Barthelemy, wrapped in burlap, forensic teams recovered a male hair follicle. This one hair was the breakthrough they desperately needed. But standard DNA testing hit a wall. Investigators needed more advanced science. They turned to a lab in California specializing in whole genome sequencing, WGS. This is different from the standard CODIS DNA comparison police use every day. WGS provides a much more detailed genetic blueprint, allowing labs to search for distant familial matches. Using this WGS data, investigators began a familial search. This led them to Heuermann's wife. Her DNA was found on several other victims' remains. Crucially, prosecutors stated the wife was on a trip at the time of these murders, ruling her out as a suspect. The presence of her hair was used to narrow the search radius to the Heuermann household. Now we hit the legal battlefield. Rex Heuermann's defense team has filed motions to exclude all of this WGS DNA evidence from the trial. Lead defense attorney argues this is junk science. Their argument is factual and precise. Whole genome sequencing has not yet been accepted by New York courts as reliable scientific evidence. They claim the labs used are not officially accredited for this specific technique in New York, calling the entire process an unreliable fishing expedition for data. If the judge agrees, this could be devastating for the prosecution. This is the main legal hurdle they face right now. The court is deciding, is this proven science, or is it an investigative tool that cannot be used in a criminal trial? While the lawyers argue over DNA reliability, the prosecution has another ace up their sleeve. Rex Heuermann's own words, found in a chilling, self-written manual. In this case, investigators recovered a deleted document from Rex Heuermann's hard drive. which prosecutors have entered into evidence as a planning document for his alleged crimes. This document was not a rambling manifesto. It was a cold, calculating checklist, meticulously organized like a professional project, according to court records. According to the bail application, this document broke down activities into different phases, such as pre-prep, prep, and post-event. In the pre-prep phase, there were notes on logistical considerations, such as checking areas for surveillance cameras. The prep section included supply lists with necessary items like saw-cutting tools, heavy rope, and even cat litter. The post-event section listed considerations for managing the situation afterwards, such as having a story prepared or changing car tires to avoid detection. A disturbing aspect detailed in court documents is a section titled Things to Remember, which included lessons learned. These were notes detailing what went wrong in previous attempts or how to improve the process next time. One note reportedly said, "Get sleep before hunt too tired creates problems." Such details provide investigators with a direct look into a calculating mind, someone who methodically refined his methods. The presence of these detailed documents is highly significant in the investigation. Investigators are looking for direct connections between the details in the documents and evidence found in the real world, such as adhesive residue in his basement or the type of materials used on the victims. This helps establish a link between the planning and the actual events that occurred. The document suggests an individual with a hyper-attention to detail, which aligns with his professional background as an architect. The real power of the prosecution's case isn't just the DNA or the digital evidence in isolation, it's how they intersect. Prosecutors allege the careful planning detailed in the blueprint documents matches the execution found in the physical and digital evidence. The planning documents reportedly emphasized using burner phones and destroying evidence. Prosecutors allege Heuermann used multiple anonymous, prepaid phones to contact victims. Cell phone tower data is critical here. Records show these burner phones pinged near Heuermann's home in Massapequa Park and his office in Manhattan, placing him in the geographic area of the crimes and planning. After each victim's death, that specific burner phone would be discarded, a detail investigators say aligns with a lessons learned mentality discussed in the planning documents. The planning documents allegedly contain supply lists, including details on specific types of tape, belts, and large plastic sheeting. Investigators say these items were used in the physical disposition of the victim's remains. Furthermore, items linked to his household, specifically the hair samples matching his wife and daughter, were found on the tape and burlap wrapped around some victims. While his family was out of state during the murders, the presence of these household items strongly suggests Heuermann sourced materials from his own home, a fact consistent with a meticulously planned operation using familiar supplies. As one criminologist noted, the combination of a physical DNA link and the self-created digital blueprint could be a nail in the coffin for the defense. The two forms of evidence validate each other, forming a powerful circumstantial case. So, where does the case against Rex Heuermann stand right now? The legal battle has entered a critical phase, and the outcome will likely hinge on the judge's final decision regarding that controversial DNA evidence. In a potentially groundbreaking decision in September 2025, the presiding judge ruled that the advanced whole genome sequencing evidence is admissible in a New York court. This was a massive victory for Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney, who stated after the ruling, "The science was on our side, and that's why we won." However, the defense was not silent. Attorney Michael Brown expressed disappointment but made it clear this isn't over. The judge's ruling only means the evidence can be presented. The defense still has the right to challenge its reliability and cross-examine expert witnesses in front of the jury. The defense's next move is a factual challenge based on public health law violations regarding the out-of-state lab used. But legal experts suggest that even if they successfully undermine the DNA slightly, the sheer volume of other evidence prosecutors have, phone records, financial data, internet searches, the blueprint, documents, and witness descriptions, is. Another recent ruling stated that all 7 murder charges Heuermann faces will be tried in a single trial, which is seen as an advantage for the prosecution as it allows them to demonstrate a consistent pattern of behavior. Heuermann has pleaded not guilty and wants his day in court. No plea deal is on the table. His defense lawyer believes the earliest the trial could begin is 2026, as more motions and legal maneuvers are expected. This story is far from over, and we will be here every step of the way. The legal maneuvers in the Rex Heuermann case continue to unfold. The prosecution believes they have linked the man, the planning, and the physical evidence through advanced DNA and digital forensics. The defense, however, is committed to ensuring every piece of that evidence is scrutinized under New York law, arguing that procedural issues or the newness of the science could undermine the entire case. The upcoming trial in 2026 will ultimately determine the outcome. Now we turn it over to you. Based on the facts presented about the legal arguments surrounding the DNA evidence and the digital data, which side do you think has the stronger case in the pretrial phase? Share your factual and respectful comments down below. If you found this breakdown informative, please give this video a like, subscribe for more factual true crime content, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next update on this crucial case. As we close this chapter of our investigation into the legal process surrounding the Long Island serial killer case, our reflection always turns to the victims. We remember Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello. Their stories underscore the importance of persistence in the pursuit of justice. The digital footprints left behind in this case serve as a powerful reminder of accountability and how evidence in the modern world helps investigators link actions to individuals. This case highlights that technology, when utilized responsibly by law enforcement, is a powerful tool for seeking truth and closure for victims' families. We hope their families find the peace and resolution they deserve as this case moves forward. Thank you for joining us for this crucial breakdown. Stay safe, stay informed, and we will see you in the next one.